welcome back to another Wednesday whiskey review from your boys in the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today, we got Laphroaig Das Boot version, Laphroaig 10. This one's pretty interesting. Michael, you want to tell them where we got it from?
I will, Derek, if they can see me.
What do you mean?
Awkward day to wear blue, but anyways.
Oh, that's true.
We got this from our friends over at Colonial Wine and Spirits, located at Five Corners in Orchard Park, next to Tops, which... You're definitely not going into that plaza for Tops. Let's just call a spade a spade. Fair. You're picking up booze, and then you're going to go pick up some lumber at Lowe's.
Oh, yeah.
And then go get some work done. But
Moe's, too, after that. Grab a burrito. Welcome to Moe's. Solid.
Anyways, feel free to head over to their website, use BHH at checkout for your discount if you are a part of our audience. Thank you so much for that. And if you are within the great state of New York, they can, of course, ship it right to your door. The discount is applied to... see you later, Derek.
See you later.
Spirits, wine, including tequila as well. So if there's a sale, then there's not going to be anything additional. However... there is something for everyone, so make sure you head on over there. Thank you all for tuning in. So that is where we picked up the boot bag of this Laphroaig 10-year, but I'm sure that there's a little bit more involved than that, so I'll let Derek dive into all the meats and potatoes.
I mean, not really. This is just aged 10 years. This is their staple product. So if you know about Laphroaig, Laphroaig 10 is their staple product that they use in a lot of their other iterations, like Laphroaig 10 Sherry. It's the same whiskey, they're just aging it in sherry casks. So this is what you can consider kind of like their staple product, because not only has it been around for an extremely long time, but it also feeds everything else that they produce as well. This is one of the entry-level Scotch high peated products that people normally find on the shelf because it's basically literally everywhere. This boot is kind of cool. So this boot is just like, make this boot bag your own. You can use this boot bag to carry around tools, camping gear, art supplies, water bottles, and a small picnic. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do that, but it's kind of cool because this commemorates the whole cutting of the peat process where they wear big boots to walk around the field so they don't get their feet all dirty, because Scotland is basically just one big wet marsh. So this is aged 10 years, filled in ex-bourbon barrels. This is 43% ABV, I believe. Double check. Ooh, this thing is kind of like floppy, bro. Pause. 43% ABV, 86 proof. And obviously it's from the island of Islay in Scotland, mate. And this is review number 212 for us. Big day for your boys.
212 is just absurd. I think we reviewed their standard 10-year eons ago.
No, we never did. Which
Come
is
on.
Crazy.
That makes no sense. So we just drank the bottle that we had?
I don't know if we ever had it. We had Laphroaig 10 Sherry, and we've had a lot of other Laphroaigs, but I don't think we've ever actually tried Laphroaig 10.
Laphroaig 10 I've consumed.
At a bar?
No, at one of our homes.
I don't think you did.
I just don't think we ever reviewed it.
Let's look at the
This is the amount that we're consuming. For research purposes. No, you're probably right, but I'm convinced that I've had Laphroaig 10 before.
So we've done 3 cartridges.
Okay.
Triple wood, Laphroaig 10 Sherry, and Laphroaig Select. That's the one that you might be thinking of.
Maybe.
Laphroaig Select. So, 10 years, and we're going to try this bad boy out. I mean, coming off the rip, label branding. Thoughts?
I mean, it comes in a boot bag.
Is that a plus for you, or do you prefer the original packaging? Like, what? Give me your honest thoughts on the boot bag. Is it obnoxious?
I don't think it's obnoxious. I think it's worth doing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For what? What are you going to do with it after?
Literally just marketing. And then I would travel with it. I'd put a bottle in there.
Are you going to have a picnic with it?
No, but if it's raining and I'm going to do something outside, but I want to bring a bottle and I don't want the packaging to get destroyed, boom.
What about like brie cheese? Would you throw brie cheese in here?
What's wrong with you? No, it's made for alcohol, bro.
It's not, though. It says for a picnic, tool, camping gear, art supplies.
Yeah, a travel, like, hard-cased Glencairn, and then that could go in there. Anything whiskey-related is going in there. And
Tell
it's
me
going to
you have
stay
a problem
protected from the
without telling me
elements.
you have a problem.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good move
I'm
for
saying
marketing.
with alcohol.
Oh, We'll talk about that offline.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, off air we'll dive into it. But
Okay.
no,
I think that it's like quasi obnoxious. I understand the thought process behind it, and like it's cool, but also it's just kind of obnoxious.
fine. Put some Gouda in there, and then you won't think it's
you go.
obnoxious.
So label branding, so actually let's talk about the bottle. Green bottles matter.
Yes.
They do go green and white, which I love.
And real cork.
Real cork.
Talk about it.
We gotta open it first, but
No, not yet.
we don't know if it's a real cork yet. This is the first time we're doing it, bro.
It's Laphroaig Scotch. We know it's
Actually,
a
I don't
real
really know
cork.
if it is. Peel it off. Just undress it real quick.
It's a real cork. You can
it?
already tell.
Is it?
Yeah, of course. They're not going to put plastic in there.
Real cork.
There it is.
Told you. So label branding, A plus check, maybe? Is that what we're feeling today?
Fine with that. A plus check.
I agree.
I agree. Okay, taking notes in our dram diary. You want to talk about the dram diary while you're pouring?
Ooh,
Great sound.
that is dry. We'll see how this tastes. Dram diaries from our friend Greg. You can go check out his Etsy shop. We got these cool little binders. You just throw the garbage on the ground real quick. We got these cool little binders, folders that Greg put together for us. You can go find these little pieces of paper and make your own damn binder. But Greg does sell these papers. It's really cool because it does go through all the tasting notes that you would want when you're tasting whiskey. It is important to have some material in front of you so you can document your experience. So go over to check out Greg's Etsy shop. We'll link it in the description. And have fun with us. So,
It's a heavy pour there, Bob.
oh yeah, it is. It's been a rough day, bruv. You don't have to drink it all. You can spit it. Be a quitter.
Ew.
Okay. So nose. What do you got on the nose?
Mother Earth. It smells like a typical Laphroaig Islay Scotch. It's inviting. If you're into this, remember, it's peaty. So this is the Scotch that is like, ugh, for a lot of drinkers. The experienced ones appreciate it and start to dive in to actually talk about the ppms and is this volatile enough for me? Is there enough smoke? What am I actually smelling here? This is what Derek likes to drink year round for those that are new to us. So we'll, dude, honestly, I'm getting like fresh fruit skins and peat.
Yeah, you're definitely getting almost kind of like an apple.
A little
But-
bit of fig.
To me, I'm getting like a Band-Aid note.
I'm
Band-Aid, iodine,
Oh, you're ruining it.
sea salt. That type of medicinal type note. Definitely getting with this. This is a very pungent Laphroaig.
As soon as you said Band-Aid, it's ruined.
Isn't it a great call, though?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you. The thing with young Scotch, Y-U-N-G, the young Scotch, the thing with them is that it doesn't have a ton of time to round out those spikes when you're talking about a peated whiskey like this. Laphroaig is generally around like a 40 ppm, I believe. 30 to 40 ppm. They offshore not offshore, but they outsource most of their peating of the barley to Port Ellen Distillery or Port Ellen Malting Company. And they do like about 30% of their peating themselves, but I'm almost positive they save that for the more special releases. They're not wasting their own peating process on Laphroaig 10. So when you age something for only 10 years, it doesn't have a ton of time to iron out a lot of the intricacies that you might not necessarily want in your whiskey. Not saying people don't want Band-Aid and mineral or iodine and those type of medicinal notes, but that's definitely what I'm getting right off the bat. But a lot of sea salt too.
What do you rate this nose then? B plus.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good call.
I agree.
Initial taste?
Okay. It's bitier than I thought.
Yeah.
It's way bitier than I thought.
I'm almost getting like a meat sweats day, you know? Like where you just consume so much different meat and now your mouth is like that dry, meaty, tender. That's what I'm tasting with this.
If you have a bachelor party, like I did, where you just go camp in the woods for a weekend and do nothing but grill meat, have bonfires, and sit in the woods and hang out with dudes and smoke cigars, if you don't bring this with you, you're wrong. And you should find a store that has it.
Colonial Wine and
Colonial
Spirits.
Wine and Spirits. Buy it and bring it with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's for. That's what this is for. This is for meat.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of smoke, sea salt still. Almost that like peppercorn meaty, burnt, not burnt, but like a little bit over well done steak, you know, where there's a little char on it, but it's a little bit too chewy. But this is surprisingly dry. It almost is making my mouth not uncomfortable, but all of the saliva is completely in the back of my throat, like in the back part of my tongue. The whole first part of my mouth is dry.
This doesn't make you yearn for another taste, like initial taste. Pour immediately. It makes you like, oh, all right, we're good for a minute. Which I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like that because most times it's like too enticing. Like the sugary aspect of tequila makes you just want to keep like Burr Kreischer, you know, just
on a
keep
tequila
throwing
kick.
it back, settle down. But with this, it's like, you know, let's take our time, let's slow it down and enjoy what we actually have. I like this.
I'm going to go B on the initial taste.
I'm fine with that. I agree. For the ending note, though, I'm only getting like elements of fruit skins, and that's what I think makes it as dry as it is,
Yeah.
and cuts it is those fruit skins. Like you were saying, the apple. There's some pear. It's not underwhelming, but it's not blowing your socks off either. You're not standing in a wind tunnel after you
Yeah.
drink this. Like, you know, you're not. It's not the Chew 5 gum experience.
I'm almost getting a little bit of like an ashy taste too. To me, this isn't the nose is very fungal and like peaty, the traditional peaty notes, but the taste is more smoky than anything.
Fungal?
Yeah. Like the taste to me is much more smoky and ashy and burnt and charred rather than not like your traditional bourbon char, but just like charcoal grill type where it's just absolutely destroying your senses.
That old school grill from like gritty South Buffalo.
Yeah, the Coleman that you bring camping.
I'm at like a C+ check on the ending note.
I agree. I think this is a perfect representation of how your palate evolves as you try better whiskey and then you go back to something like this. Because you and I have had this before, and it's a decent product. I think that in general, if I see Scotch on the shelf and I'm not looking to spend an arm and a leg, I'm probably grabbing Laphroaig 10 or Ardbeg 10 or Lagavulin 8 or something like that, just to wet the old whistle, you know? But now that we've had like 3 different cartridges on our channel, we've had Laphroaig 10 Sherry, it's like, it's all right.
I know.
Which is kind of sad because this is a good product, but I think the ratings that we have, B+, B, C+ check, A+ check for the label branding, like that's pretty good.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
So,
So, final countdown.
final rating.
Or final rating.
Final countdown.
Final rating, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
78. Oh. 79.5.
Attaboy.
Wow. Would you have it in your collection?
Honestly, if you would have asked me before this review if I would have Laphroaig 10 in my collection at all times, I would say yes. But I think right now I'm almost on the no side. Assuming that budget is not a concern and you have unlimited money. Obviously, in the whole grand scheme of this, would you have this in your collection? If you have the money, buy it. Whiskey's good. But if budget is a concern and you have other options in this price point to buy, I don't necessarily think I would get Laphroaig 10.
Right.
I would get Lagavulin 8, similar price point. I would get even Laphroaig Select, I think, is cheaper and is on par with this, if I remember correctly. I mean, that's been a while since we've had that.
Right.
But like, this isn't something that, I mean, it's only 50 or 60 bucks, $59.99. So for a good quality Islay Scotch, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. I feel like I would go for an Ardbeg route or a Lagavulin route, or maybe the next option that we have coming up next week. Tune in, hit the like, comment, subscribe. You picking up what I'm putting down?
I do. I don't think I'd have it in my collection. I would think I would explore other options.
But boot.
I get it. Since you hate yours so much, I'll just take yours for my other Scotch bottle.
It's in the collection now, brother. It's going on the shelf. But I think it's a valid point. Like, I don't necessarily. Maybe that's why they did the boot bag. Is because they're like Lagavulin 10 or Laphroaig 10 sales are dropping. Let's put it into something like this to entice people to buy this over an Ardbeg 10.
Right. Yeah! Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're curious to hear them.
Yeah.
If you did enjoy this with us, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Make sure that you are keeping us up to date with all of your opinions regarding the juices that we drink. And if you do decide to drink with us, make sure that you always
drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
do not litter.
we're out.